Okay, once we have understood the types of income that the organization receives, then we want to see what kind of reporting that non-profit organizations need to do, as particularly at the end of the accounting period. Okay, so the type of reporting that they need to do is dependent on the organization itself and its members. Okay, so there are several types of situation, and that situation will influence the way or the type of information that they will report. Okay, so for example, if the organization only has cash assets, it doesn't have any other assets, so they may report the receipts and payments. Okay, cash receipts and payments. That may be the only information that they report to the members. Okay, if they are a little bit sophisticated and they have double entry records, because some of the organizations are very small and they don't have much income, they don't have their own accountant, it is run by members who don't have accounting background, so they don't keep double entry records. So what they produce is the cash receipts and payment information. But if the organization have some expertise, have an accountant, then they may keep double entry records of their transactions. Therefore they will be able to produce the statement of financial position. What is a statement of financial position? Basically, is very similar to the balance sheet for profit organizations. We have seen examples of balance sheets for sole proprietorship, for partnership, for corporations. So the same type of information will be shown in the statement of financial position of the non-profit organization. So basically, the name for balance sheet is called statement of financial position for non-profit organizations. Okay, so the statement of financial position will show the basic accounting equation, which has the asset which equals to the liability and owner's equity. So in profit-based organization, it will be owner's equity, but for non-profit organization, it will be net assets. The third situation, if they have some qualified personnel, then they will also show the changes to accumulated funds from operations on top of the statement of financial positions, the income and revenue, income and expenses statement, as well as the receipts and payment statement. Okay, so again, we go into more detail. The non-profit organization will basically have at least three main statements. The first is statement of receipts and payments. Okay, secondly is the income and expenses statement, or they may also be more appropriately called as statement of activities, because it is not the aim of the organization to gain income, but it is their main purpose is to organize activities. Therefore, the statement name is changed to statement of activities, but it shows the same information as the income statement. Finally is the statement of financial position. Like I said, it is similar to the balance sheet for profit organizations. For non-profit organizations, the balance sheet is called statement of financial position. It shows the financial position in terms of asset, in terms of liability, in terms of net asset of the non-profit organization. So firstly is the statement of receipts and payments. Okay, what is the statement of receipts and payments? It summarizes the cash transactions that occurred. So if, for example, if the organization has a cash account, several bank accounts, then all of the transactions in all of those cash types account in the bank accounts will be aggregated and will be presented in the statement of receipts and payments. So it will show all the cash based transactions, receipts, the incoming cash as well as the outgoing cash. Okay, it does not differentiate between capital expenditure and revenue expenditure, but it captures all of the cash-based transactions, whether they are capital-based or revenue expenditure. I will touch on capital versus revenue expenditure in a different slide. Okay, so for statement of cash receipts and payments, it will have the ending balance of the statement will be equal to beginning balance plus total receipts minus total payments. That will come up to the ending cash balance. So this is a sample format of the statement of receipts and payments. So for Belia Mesra Society, the statement of receipts and payments for the year ended 31st December 20 plus. Okay, so firstly we show the beginning cash balance. So cash balance can include the cash account as well as the bank account. Okay, all of the cash based accounts. Okay, if you have several bank accounts, then all of them will be included in this beginning cash balance. Okay, so you have a beginning cash balance, and then you add all of the receipts, for example subscription as well as donation received, but all of these are the cash amounts. Okay, the cash amounts received in the current year. Okay, so this is like a cash basis accounting. Okay, the cash amounts that we receive for the subscription and donation, and then we minus the payments, such as we paid for electricity, purchase of new equipments, the wages, annual dinner expenses, whether or not those electricity is for the previous or the following period, whether or not the wages is for the previous period, but as long it is paid in cash in this current year, then that should be included in the receipts and payments. So restatement of receipts and payments is ignoring the accrual basis accounting. So we total up all the total payments. So from the beginning cash balance, we add the total receipts minus the total payments. We will get the ending cash balance, which should be equal to the balances of all of the cash and cash equivalent accounts. There are several weaknesses of the statement of receipts and payments. Firstly, net income and loss is for the period is not shown. Okay, net income and loss for the period is not shown because we do not follow the accrual basis. We are not comparing income generated from at the current year versus the matching expenses for generating that income. That is not analyzed in the receipts and payments. Therefore, the receipts and payments does not show net income and loss for the current period. Evaluation of whether the organization is able to finance its activities cannot be performed. Okay, from this receipts and payments, we are not able to evaluate whether or not the organization is able to finance its activities, because it's just showing the cash flow, but not showing the actual income generated by the organization. It does not show the actual financial position. Okay, it doesn't show. It's just showing cash flows in and out.